Imagine this. You're walking alone. You sense someone behind you. No words. No sound. Just a presence. Your heart speeds up. Your mind races. Your body tenses before you even see their face. Why? Because power, real power, doesn't need to introduce itself. The strongest predators don't growl. They don't roar. They just stare. And prey knows. They feel it in their bones. The weight of an unseen threat. The quiet control of something that does not need to explain itself. Now, imagine you could make your enemies feel that way about you. Without saying a word. No threats. No arguments. No wasted energy. Just a presence that makes them hesitate. Makes them sweat. Makes them fear you without knowing why. This is the kind of power you're about to learn. But be warned, once you have it, there is no going back. You were taught that respect comes from speaking well. From making your voice heard. From proving your worth. That is a lie. In reality, the moment you try to prove yourself, you have already lost. The moment you raise your voice, you've shown weakness. The moment you let emotions slip, you have given your enemies exactly what they need to control you. True power isn't spoken. It is felt. Think of the people you fear. The ones who make you hesitate. The ones who don't need to say anything, you just know they are dangerous. It's not their words. It's their presence. Their stillness. Their ability to say nothing and make you feel everything. And that is what you are about to learn. You want power. A voice cuts through the silence. Not loud. Not aggressive. Just calm. Controlled. Dangerous. Then stop talking. The dark mentor has arrived. Not a teacher. Not a friend. Someone who knows the hidden laws of power and has no interest in sugarcoating them for you. They don't care about your excuses. They don't care about your frustration. They only care about one thing. Will you learn? Or will you remain weak? Power is not taken. It is felt. The world is filled with loud, desperate men. Men who think that yelling commands respect. That threats create fear. They are wrong. The most powerful men in history, the ones truly feared, never had to raise their voices. They made people fear them without saying a word. And now, so will you. The empty stare, how controlled eye contact creates unease. Most people blink too much. The mentor's voice is quiet. Controlled. Most people shift their gaze. Look away. Flinch. And they don't even realize it. That's how you can spot the weak. Because their eyes betray them. The human brain hates uncertainty. It craves predictability, patterns, explanations. And when it can't read someone, when it looks into a pair of eyes that don't flinch, don't dart away, don't react, it panics. It fills the silence with fear. Look at history's most feared men. They didn't shout. They didn't flail their arms or over-explain their power. They stared. Unmoving. Cold. Calculated. And the people around them? They felt it. The power of the empty stare. Your enemies expect reactions. They expect you to fidget, to look down, to glance away. That tells them everything they need to know. You can be moved. Your goal? Make them doubt that. When someone speaks to you, hold their gaze. Not aggressively. Not with emotion. Just stillness. Silence. Let them wonder what you're thinking. Let them feel the weight of your presence. Do not be the first to look away. And watch what happens. They'll shift. Adjust their posture. Break eye contact. Look down. Because suddenly, they feel exposed. And you? You've said nothing. You've done nothing. And yet, in that moment, you've already won. Science backs this up. Prolonged eye contact triggers a deep psychological reaction in the human brain. In 2015, researchers in Italy discovered that when two people stare into each other's eyes for just 10 minutes, they start to hallucinate, seeing distortions, shadows, even demons in the other person's face. Why? Because the brain doesn't know how to handle pure, uninterrupted presence. Now, imagine using that power intentionally. Imagine someone challenging you, trying to dominate you. But instead of responding with words, you just hold their gaze. Let them feel the silence. Let their own mind turn against them. Because they will. They'll second-guess what you're thinking. They'll start wondering, are they angry? Are they judging me? Do they see my weakness? And before they even realize it, they will be the first to break. They'll blink. Look away. Try to fill the void. Because they can't take it. And you? You will have already taken control. The timed silence, weaponizing unresolved pauses. Silence is a weapon. The mentor leans in slightly, voice calm but firm. Most people don't know how to use it. If words are a sword, silence is the pause before the kill. The human brain is wired to fear gaps in conversation. When there's no response, no validation, no reaction, the mind fills the silence with doubt. And doubt breeds fear. Think about the last time someone went quiet on you. A boss, a friend, a partner. You sent a message. No reply. You asked a question. No answer. Your mind rushed to explain the silence. Did I say something wrong? Are they upset? Are they testing me? That discomfort, that subtle panic, you have felt it before. Now imagine flipping that power in your favor. Imagine forcing people to reveal their insecurities simply by refusing to speak. Making them second-guess their own words, question their own confidence, and fear what you might be thinking. This is the timed silence. And once you master it, you will control conversations, without saying a word. Silence isn't just awkward, it's psychologically painful. Researchers have found that even a 4-second pause in conversation makes people uneasy. Why? Because we expect instant responses. We expect closure. When it doesn't come, the brain spirals. It searches for meaning. It assumes the worst. This is why skilled interrogators, negotiators, and manipulators use silence to break people. They don't ask a second time. They don't rush to fill the gap. They just wait. And it works. Because the weaker person will always try to end the silence first. In a high-stakes conversation, the first person to break the silence loses control. The power lies in stillness, in the ability to let others feel the weight of the pause. When you hesitate before answering a question, the other person begins to second-guess their own words. When you respond to an insult with nothing but a neutral expression, the attacker is left uncertain, questioning whether they made a mistake. When someone makes an offer, your lack of immediate reaction forces them to reconsider, to wonder if they've miscalculated, to feel the pressure of their own words collapsing in on them. Mastering the timed silence isn't just about talking less. It's about making others talk more. It's about creating an uncomfortable void and letting your enemies scramble to fill it. Because once you understand this, you will no longer fear silence. They will. The stillness effect, why fidgeting signals weakness, motion betrays the weak. The mentor's voice is steady. The strongest man in the room is often the stillest. People underestimate how much their bodies reveal about them. The hands that fidget. The foot that taps. The shoulders that twitch under pressure. All of it, every micromovement, exposes doubt. When a man shifts too much, when his eyes dart or his fingers restlessly drum against a surface, he is sending a silent message. I am uncertain. I am uncomfortable. I am waiting for permission to exist in this space. Now, imagine someone who doesn't move unless they choose to. Someone whose presence remains calm, unreadable, controlled. A person who, even in a heated situation, does not react impulsively. That is power. Because people expect movement. They expect emotional leakage, nervous gestures, subconscious expressions, small ticks of insecurity. When they don't see it, they feel unsettled. A king does not fidget on his throne. A predator does not pace when stalking its prey. The most dangerous figures in history, whether warlords, strategists, or silent enforcers, did not move unless they had to. There's a reason why trained killers, elite spies, and high-level negotiators are taught to control not just their words, but their body language. Movement is energy, and wasting energy on excess motion is a sign that you lack control. People who command fear have mastered one thing, the ability to hold space without filling it with useless movement. Stillness forces attention. It creates pressure. It makes others hyper-aware of you. Have you ever spoken to someone who barely moved while you were talking? Someone who just listened, their body completely still? It's unnerving. It forces you to question what they're thinking. It makes you feel like you're revealing too much, because they're revealing nothing. Now, flip the situation. Become that person. The moment you stop shifting unnecessarily, the moment you stop scratching, tapping, adjusting, people start noticing. They feel like you see more than you say. And that disturbs them. To master the stillness effect, you must train yourself to be motionless under pressure. Start small. The next time you're sitting, resist the urge to adjust your position every 5 minutes. When someone speaks to you, let your body remain calm. Move with intention, not reaction. Then, escalate. Walk into a crowded room and practice controlled movements, slow, deliberate, effortless. Notice how people's eyes unconsciously follow you. And when you are in conflict, say less. Move less. Watch more. Stillness is dominance. And when you master it, people won't just respect you. They will fear you. The unreadable mask, hiding emotions to create uncertainty, never let them see what you feel. The mentor's voice is low. The moment they can read you, they can control you. Most people wear their emotions on their faces like a flashing neon sign. Excitement, anger, fear, discomfort. It's all there, written across their expressions for the world to see. And what happens when someone can read you? They adjust. They use your reactions against you. They sense when you're uncomfortable and press harder. They detect hesitation and exploit it. They notice eagerness and manipulate you. Because emotions, when visible, are weaknesses. But a face that reveals nothing? A mind that remains unreadable? That is terrifying. Imagine standing across from an enemy, and no matter what they say, your expression doesn't change. No flicker of anger. No hint of insecurity. No reaction at all. They throw insults, accusations, even threats, but nothing moves you. Their frustration builds. They start second-guessing themselves. Because when someone can't read you, they fear you. They don't know what's going through your mind. They don't know if you're angry, indifferent, or planning something far worse. They don't know how to prepare. And that uncertainty, that creeping doubt, eats away at them. There's a reason why Machiavelli wrote about the necessity of deception, why interrogators are trained to maintain a neutral face, why poker champions win millions by revealing nothing. Stillness forces attention. A neutral expression forces others into discomfort. Have you ever argued with someone who refused to react? Someone who just listened, their expression blank, their posture unmoved? It's unnerving. It makes you doubt yourself. And the more you doubt, the weaker you become. Now, flip that power in your favor. This is not about suppressing emotions, it's about controlling their visibility. A powerful man does not let anger dictate his body language. He does not let excitement make him predictable. He does not let fear slip through his mask. Instead, he learns to control the display. It starts with control. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause. Feel the reaction in your body, but don't show it. Keep your breathing steady. Keep your face neutral. Let them wonder what you're thinking. Then, take it further. Practice maintaining the same calm, neutral expression in every situation. Whether you're winning or losing, whether you're furious or indifferent, show nothing. If you can master this, you will notice a shift. People will hesitate before speaking to you. They will watch their words more carefully because they won't know how you'll react. They will start fearing what they cannot predict. People fear what they don't understand. And when they can't read you, they won't know how to fight you. They will hesitate. They will second-guess. And they will fear you. The strategic absence, being unpredictable to instill fear, a man who is always available is never valued. The mentor's voice is steady. A presence that is predictable is a presence that is ignored. Most people make the mistake of always being seen, always being heard, always being predictable. They assume that showing up constantly is what makes them respected. They are wrong. Power is not in presence. It is in absence. The things people don't understand, the people they can't reach, the figures they can't predict, these are the things that keep them awake at night. Think about the moments when someone suddenly disappears. A leader who vanishes from the public eye. A friend who stops responding. A person of power who becomes unavailable. What happens? People start talking. They start wondering. They start building stories in their heads. And those stories are always worse than reality. The unknown is more terrifying than the known. When people don't know where you are, what you're thinking, or what your next move will be, they will assume the worst. And when people assume the worst, they fear you more. A man who is always present, always speaking, always making himself known, loses mystery. And when you lose mystery, you lose control. When you are always around, people get comfortable. They believe they can figure you out. And what people understand? They stop fearing. There's a reason why some of the most feared figures in history disappeared when they were most expected to act. Julius Caesar, before making a move, he would vanish, leaving Rome to spiral in speculation. Napoleon, he kept his rivals guessing, retreating from the public eye before launching a surprise attack. Vladimir Putin, known for going silent during political crises, letting fear of the unknown control the narrative. The greatest tacticians never let their enemies predict them. And you must do the same. Disappear strategically. Go silent when they expect you to speak. Be unavailable when they need an answer. Walk away when they think they have you figured out. Make them feel your absence. Make them question if they made a mistake. Make them wonder what you're planning. Then, when you return, return with force. Be stronger. Be more decisive. Let them feel the weight of the time they spent wondering where you were. Because when they don't know where you are, when they can't predict your next move, they will fear what they cannot see. And that, more than anything, makes you powerful. Now, it's time to apply what you've learned. The mentor stands, eyes locked onto yours. Everything up until now has been theory. But power, true power, only exists when it is used. You've mastered the empty stare, the ability to make people uneasy with just your eyes. You've trained the time silence, the power to let others crumble under the weight of your stillness. You've embodied the stillness effect, the quiet control that makes people hesitate before speaking. You've refined the unreadable mask, the art of revealing nothing, forcing others to question everything. And you've learned the strategic absence, how to make them miss you, wonder about you, and fear your return. But knowledge alone is nothing. Now, you must test it. Imagine this. You walk into a room, your enemies are already there. They don't know it yet, but you are about to dominate the space. No words. No threats. Just presence. As you move, you walk slower than usual. Deliberate. Measured. You do not rush to greet anyone. The first person who makes eye contact with you, you hold it. You don't blink. You don't look away. You let them feel your presence before you even speak. And then, when they finally break eye contact, when they fidget, shift, or glance elsewhere, you already know. They lost. You sit down, but not immediately. You take a moment. You look around first. Let them wonder what you're thinking. And when you finally take your seat, you move slowly, calmly. Stillness. Control. Let them fill the silence. Let them be the ones who feel the need to speak first. And when they do, pause. Let the room adjust to your pace. Make them wait for your words, instead of throwing them out carelessly. Because silence is your ally now. As the conversation unfolds, you notice something. People start checking their words before speaking to you. They hesitate before making a joke at your expense. Their eyes flick toward you when they talk, subtly searching for your reaction. Even without saying much, they feel your presence. This is what control looks like. Not in what you say, but in how people adjust themselves around you. They talk differently. They sit differently. They measure their words. All because of the energy you've created. Now, someone tests you. It's always the same type of person, the one who can't stand the idea of someone more powerful than them. They throw out a challenge. Maybe it's disguised as a joke. Maybe it's an outright insult. Maybe it's just a simple test to see if they can make you flinch. But you don't. You do not explain yourself. You do not laugh to ease the tension. You do not react. Instead, you simply look at them. Let them sit in their own words. Let them fill the silence. And they will. They will start talking more, just to undo the discomfort. They'll rephrase their sentence, try to clarify, try to shift the moment into something less serious, because the silence is crushing them. And that's when you know. You are in control. Now, a shift has occurred. Your presence, your silence, your control, it has changed the entire atmosphere. The person who tried to challenge you, they feel it. Everyone else in the room, they sense it. They may not be able to explain it, but they know something has changed. It's subtle, but undeniable. You have become the one they react to, instead of the other way around. This is real power. Power is not about being the loudest. It is not about forcing respect. Power is about forcing others to feel your presence, without demanding it. It is about letting them react first, second-guess themselves, and give you control, without even realizing it. Now, when you walk into a room, you will no longer seek approval. You will not fight for attention. You will already own the space. And the best part? You never had to say a word. Now you know how to make your enemies fear you without saying a word. But here's what I didn't tell you. None of this matters if you can't control yourself first. Because power isn't just about how others see you. It's about what you build when no one is watching. You can hold the perfect stare, master silence, command respect, but if your focus is scattered, if your discipline is weak, if you are distracted by noise, then you are powerless. And that's exactly why your next move is clear. Click on this video, focus on yourself, work hard in silence. Because the real war? It isn't fought in front of others. It's fought in the dark, when no one is looking. I'll see you there. English all.